All right, we are here. Whoa, okay, no, we're good. We're good. Work through all the technical issues, like you do on the first of many streams. Um,
Good evening.
hey, there's Moose. How's it going?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
All right, I think we've got Major hanging out in chat. Hopefully, he can hear us. I am trying to make sure I'm not doing anything too boneheaded with regards to the stream and/or technical things. Um, I don't have our trusty prediction spreadsheet up yet, so let's go ahead and gotta carry that tradition on. See how many we can get wrong this time.
Of course.
Uh, are we are season 10? Okay, I was trying to
Yep,
figure out like
we are season 10.
which season we were actually.
Yeah, the minors and college seasons are season 10, but the actual majors are season 14.
Right, right. Good lord, what have I been doing? Uh, somewhere. College 10 playoff predictor? No. I don't know where. Good lord. Anyhow, ignoring my scanning through my. Oh, there we go. Sure, let's take that. Cool. So yeah. So what do we got? America A and mixed. Um,
Hmm.
well, may as well start at the top, right? I feel like we can dig into the teams as we go.
Yep, that's exactly
Um,
what I was thinking.
and hopefully I can if I'm doing it right, I can actually get the teams up on stream simultaneously side by side. Um, yeah, so it looks like right off the bat, it's myself and OpenEye are the first teams on the list. Um,
Hmm. Dark Elf and Norse matchup.
that's right. And as I was lamenting in chat, I don't have any tackle, so that's gonna be interesting. I do,
Oh,
however,
yeah.
have block on every single one of my pieces,
Hmm.
including a blodge elf. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
I will.
And having block is going to help a lot to deal with specifically the witch elves, because neither of the witch elves
Mm,
have any way to deal with both down. So you're
right.
given a little bit of leeway there. You
Yep.
got so you still got the twos and the sixes on your side, as opposed to only sixes
Right.
giving you anything. Yeah, I saw Open Eye's team earlier. Yeah, he's the one with a lot of movement up.
Holy smokes! Yeah, I was just looking at that. He and I played in PSPU, I think, or maybe we just played at the end of the season last year. But either way, yeah, that is a lot of movement up. I think his team was just broken when we played. It might have
Hmm.
been. I think he was down a bunch of players.
Hmm.
But yeah, a movement up witch and a strength up witch. So that's gonna be fun to deal with.
Hmm.
But I do have a pretty significant strength advantage with the Yeti and one of the Ulfs still kicking around.
Hmm. I thought I'd mention, Ellie mentioned in chat that I am significantly louder than you.
Okay, hold on. Let me. I think we've had to play this dance before. I think. All right, let's try that.
Is it better? I will talk for a couple of seconds just to make sure that I sound a little quieter.
Um, yeah, I think you may still be a little loud. I'm gonna tune you down just a little bit more, and then we'll let chat
Go
let us
from
know.
there.
Um, yeah, where
Yeah,
were we?
I have to agree with Ellie here that sure he does have a lot of stat ups, which are really really nice, but at the moment they are unsupported. Um, with no block, those blocks on the witch elves are a 1 and 9 away from um, getting put down onto the ground. And
Yep.
being armor 7, that's a dangerous place. That's a dangerous
Don't
thing to happen.
don't I know it? Uh,
um, as well as the fact that one of the movement 9 blitzer as well doesn't have dodge, so that's
mm-hmm.
a 5 and a 6 that's able for you to take on. Um, so yeah, if he can get to more development on his team, those stat ups are going to be super nice. The
Yep.
problem's going to be getting there. And you have 2 mighty blow, and it looks like you managed to roll the doubles on your Yeti and get blocked.
Yep.
I
Yep.
noticed,
I got
which is
got block on the
super
Yeti, which
nice.
I've been envying on the other Norse team in our division.
Hmm.
So yeah, block on the Yeti. Managed to not get punished for my greedy block, greedy tackle. Sorry, not tackle, but dodge pick on my Ulf when it first leveled. So I managed to
Ooh,
pick up block on that before minors.
that's very nice.
So I'm literally 100% block like across the board. Um,
Hmm.
Still would love to pick up a few more pieces by the end of well soon. Uh,
Soon.
but if I can keep my positionals alive, I should be in good shape. Got
Hmm.
the I had to re-roll one of my Zerkers, and towards the end of the PSPU,
Hmm.
but the new one managed to pick up the MVP on the last game, so he's only one Kaz away from uh,
Either one Kaz, or since
or
he's a agility 3, you could go for a vanity pass.
yep.
Yep, nice and easy. In this matchup, sure, OpenEye has some really nice stat ups, but based on what I'm seeing, I would honestly give the matchup to you as long as you can keep him pinned. Now he does have a lot of mobility with those 3 pieces being movement 8 and 1 movement 9, so he can be a little slippery if you're not careful. Um, so it's definitely something you'll need to keep an eye on.
Yep.
But if you manage to punch him around, especially with Claw Mighty Blow on your Yeti, that piece will be able to take the blitzers out. If you can, land the hits
Right.
naturally.
Yeah. No. It's.
Overall, I'd say you have a pretty good edge in this matchup in comparison.
I think I think the last time we played, he took the game, and I think the comment that my mentor had, Major, the game is scheduled. We'll be playing on Saturday. Was it Saturday? I think it's Saturday, 11
Hmm.
p.m. EDT. Um, yeah, my mentor was commenting that I was perhaps not being aggressive enough
Hmm.
on getting some of my pieces. I was being very reserved, which
Hmm.
so I wasn't getting the removals that I needed to like actually do things effectively.
Right, right. In
And
this matchup,
taking
you have much more combat. Your team
mhm,
is far more combat oriented than his, and you need to really push yourself onto
yeah,
him.
exactly. And
Assert your
definitely,
dominance.
definitely the last few games that I was playing when I was sort of trying to take that into account or take that advice to heart went
Hmm.
way better. So I'm looking forward to this season with a team that is hopefully going to stand up pretty well and a little bit more aggression. I should be pretty solid.
Yeah, yeah, we've got this. We've all learned. We're minors now.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
let's show the knowledge we know now, or just
Mm-hmm.
lose. Oh, I think that wraps up that matchup nicely. I think that can lead us into our next one,
Yep.
which is my match.
Oh, there we
Coincidentally, we're
go.
both at the top. Uh, the natural Iceman versus my big
Yep.
Flexen. It's Norse versus human matchup. Which, funnily enough, my last match was against Zoomnik in your EU.
Oh, yeah.
He was also Norse. That was a fun match.
Oof. Yeah. It looks like it was fun on your part. Uh,
Yeah, Yeah, three MNGs going into this one.
Yep.
Missing the only real piece of note that I'm missing will be that Wrestle Dauntless catcher,
Right.
which honestly, if I were to take any MNGs, this is almost perfect in my opinion.
I mean,
Because my none of my blitzers are gonna be out. Like the thrower's still here. Overall, I think in terms of MNGs, I got it pretty easy this time around. And no permanence,
yep.
which is much better than I can say about the beginning of college.
Yeah. Yeah.
Versus uh King Fu's the Natural Iceman. He also has the block on his Yeti.
Yep. Yeah, he's had that
Got
most of the season. And it looks
mhm.
like he's got block on his Ulfs, guard on one Ulf. So he's in
He's
pretty
got
similar shape. His killer's got the full palm.
mm-hmm.
Um, so
So yeah. But I do notice, yeah, he's got only one guard, so
hmm
I do have a chance through. It'll be a little easier for me to kind of fight back in a sense, simply because I do have three pieces with guard
yeah,
available, so I can at least fend for myself
right.
um, throughout this matchup. Um, and maybe I'll get as lucky as I did versus Zoom, where I managed to, on turn one, I managed to Kaz out his Yeti immediately. That
Yeah,
was fun.
that's if you can pull that off, that
Oh,
definitely can swing the match.
Armor 8 is a lot more paper than you would think.
Don't I know it? Don't I know it?
But yeah, overall, this one's I think this is going to be a good match.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
His
not.
team, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm not seeing anything that's like feels like it's decisively tipping the balance in one direction or the other.
Mhm.
As far as predictions go, you'll get
I'll
give
get
me some
about
about 100.
110,
Yeah,
110 inducements.
so probably Babes. I would if I were
Oh,
you
most
anyway.
likely.
Um,
I'll be tossing the ideas around, but
yeah,
I'm probably going to be double babes just to, and that's when I curse myself and I'm going to get only Kaz's on my players,
right, of
of course.
course.
And yes, Major, the game is on Tuesday at 5 p.m. EDT. I will
Guys,
be
got to put
streaming
that
it.
on
I'm
the.
gonna pick up streaming again.
You should put it on the schedule. I know
I
you're.
did. It
Oh,
just
okay,
hasn't like updated.
hasn't fixed it or
Mhm.
haven't. Oh, there it is. Yep.
I'll let you call the guess on who's gonna
Mm,
win this one.
12. He's got a dirty player. I don't know. That's a it's a tough call. I think I'm gonna say that um I'm gonna put my faith in your catcher and say that you're going to win the game on points. But I think you might be limping out of it. That's where I'm gonna put. We'll give you
The benefit of the
the
doubt.
benefit of the doubt. Sort of the elf. Well, you're the elf and he's the orc in this match, and so um,
All right, I like the comparison.
so we'll give you the edge on this one. All right. Um, so Super Jail and Serial Slayers, an orc off.
Orkov. One of them is the college champ.
Yep,
And the other one's got two armor busts.
indeed, indeed, and one guard. I guess
One
they
guard,
each
one
only have
black
one
orc
guard.
blocker. One black orc blocker is missing. Doesn't quite have block yet.
Yep,
Does have two mighty blows and a guard, and their troll has block.
Right. On the other side, Big A's got guard on the troll, guard on a Blork, who is niggled.
Yep, that is
Yeah.
Niggled.
And then guard on a Blitzer.
Mm-hmm.
The
Got
full palm on one of his Blitzers.
mm-hmm. Got
Uh,
a Blodge Strength Up Blitzer
yeah.
and
A thrower with some additional oomph on it. Oh, I guess kickoff
mm-hmm.
return. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And block. Yeah, I think I'd be
I'm
hard pressed
gonna
not to give this to Big A.
yeah we'll have to see based on the inducements they're gonna get because they're gonna get like
True.
I think that's 260K in
Yep.
inducements right out the gate. So I'm curious what they're gonna use their inducement money on and if it'll make a difference in this matchup.
Yeah.
But if he's not careful, those two armor busted pieces are going to get slapped by Big A.
True.
Um,
Yep.
Big A
Well, Big A
proving to
also
be
has
a
two
very.
armor
He's got
bust.
two niggles.
Or two
They're
niggles.
niggles.
Sorry. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well.
So you still got to get through the armor 9 on those
Right.
pieces.
Right.
Um. Yeah, it's funny that guard Black Orc is the one that I managed to niggle with my thrower in
With
our
your
matchup.
thrower.
Yeah, it was with my thrower. It's just a random Kaz, and that leveled up my thrower.
Nice. Nice.
He still has that piece. Hopefully, I can put it back into the ground with the same thrower.
There you
That'd
go.
be fun. Anyways, yeah. I'm gonna keep it real. Big A's really proved himself in the playoffs, why he deserved to be there, and why he's the
Yep.
champion. I'm gonna have to give it to him.
Yep.
It's
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
it's probably gonna be the same throughout the rest of minors. I'll have to watch him and see if he slips up,
Yeah.
especially in his rematch with me next week, which is that's when we get it. His one loss to me.
There we go.
Anyways, yeah, I would give it to Big A personally.
Yep. Yep. All right.
And that one's at Sunday 8 p.m. Central is what Major said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they don't have it. They haven't put it on the schedule yet, but
Don't worry,
sounds like
Major.
we've got a good.
He spies on the scheduling.
Uh-huh. So it's a good. You guys. Oh, you guys are on Tuesdays. So we've got like Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday. Nice spread of games.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next up, we've got Zon Fishing, who we have not seen. Is coming in out of Little O,
That's
right?
Lofty. That's
Yeah.
from Yep. That's from Little O. I think the only person coming from Little O.
The
I
only
don't think
surviving
Casper
Little O
signed
player.
up again.
Yeah. And Lead Pipe's DDoS attack. So
Mm-hmm.
what do we got here?
Interesting that they both have similar TVs going into this.
Yep. Not going to be really anything to speak of with inducements, although, like, Lofty could go for a. Oh no, I guess Lofty is actually going to be the overdog in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lofty would be the overdog in this case. They have 1350 versus 1320. I don't think any inducements are going to be taken.
Yeah.
On this matchup.
I mean, Lead Pipe could scum for a babe, but it doesn't seem worth it. Probably, he's got a bench. Yeah, I wouldn't expect him to.
Oh, did you fire that agility busted piece, Lofty? Because it says it's still here, but he just said in chat they've got only 9 players. So I assume you fired the agility busted piece.
Seems
Which
reasonable.
In that case, if he does and the MNG.
So I mean, Lino a loner Lino is going to be 50, so that will take 40 off.
Mm-hmm.
So Lofty will be 10 the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Looking at the
skills wise, there's a guard advantage on. Actually, guard
Guard
tipped in
advantage.
favor for lead pipe in this matchup,
Yep,
actually.
because of the lino that's out.
Hmm.
No tackle on lead pipe's side
Yeah,
though,
yeah, that's gonna be really
so
rough
that's gonna
for
be
lead pipe.
yeah. Only one tackle piece over on the Zons.
So on the opposite end, they're gonna have troubles, or they're gonna if that piece manages to get fouled or anything like that, then that piece is not going to be then it's going to be hard to punch
Yeah, the blitzers
at
are a
least
little bit.
those blitzers pieces,
Yeah.
which are key
Yep.
for lead pipe.
Um, strength up.
Do have one mighty blow on a blocker for lead pipe versus a mighty blow tackle, the mighty blow tackle
Tackle
piece,
piece. Yeah.
coincidentally. A strength up catcher is really nice. Strength up lodge. And a movement thrower. Ooh.
Yeah. It's,
In this matchup, this is gonna be
I think I think my money would be on Lofty in this one. Um,
mhm. Lofty's just got just like a little bit of an edge in terms of development compared to lead pipe.
yeah, that's my read on
Um,
it too.
mhm. So lead pipe, if he gets some good, if he manages to roll the good sixes against Lofty will be in trouble with the armor value 7.
Yep.
But you got to roll the sixes in order to get the damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I would give this one to Lofty personally.
We are in agreement. So what is that? This is the Zon fishing.
Hmm.
Over. All right.
And that leads us into our last matchup in week 1 for America: Skull Raisers versus Goddesses. Valia, I believe, came into minors. I think they were in college the season before us.
Okay.
Um,
The
mhm.
coach name is familiar, but I was trying to remember whether
Yeah,
whether that was
I
just from
remember right
Discord
before we
or.
essentially took over. Right before we essentially took over the minors chat, I saw them talking to an admin about joining and if they were good for it, and
Mm,
they did. And so I believe they came from the previous college season, must have taken a break for personal reasons in
yep.
between, and now they're with us. And I must say
Cool.
they have a pretty developed and scary team.
I was gonna say that is a scary group of Amazons right there.
Hmm.
A lot of block.
A lot of
Uh,
blodge. They've got 2 agility up pieces on
yep.
here. One of them with sure hands.
Yep.
They've got 3 guard. They've got a good um killer piece going with a mighty blow and tackle. Um, they got a kick piece too, so they can control where the ball ends up going
Mm-hmm.
in the match, and as well as a bench of 2 going
Yep.
into this match
On the other side,
versus. Hmm.
Heldrum is so he was in my division last year or last season,
Hmm.
and was up at the top of the division most of the time.
Hmm.
If I remember correctly, um, certainly is not lacking in block. Uh,
Hmm. Lots. He has lots of blodge too,
yep,
personally.
yep. Um, does not have tackle, so is gonna have to do the same like
Oh,
hunt for the
yeah.
sixes
That
that everyone
lead
else
pipe's
is.
going to have to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks
I
like if you look at the previous for Heldrum, the Skull Raisers, looks like his killer piece has actually
oh
died
yep,
very, very recently.
yep.
Looks like 2 games ago it died. So that's very unfortunate.
That's rough. Yeah,
Hmm.
and he's only
And
got he's got the two
that was
rookie
his
whites at
technical
this
piece.
point.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, he's got like one. Oh wait, yeah, they're both rookies, aren't they? Jeez.
mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know.
Does
One
have
of
a
them.
block mummy. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Um, and a guard mummy. So he only has one guard in this matchup. Which might cause him problems. Might cause him to be more on the defensive throughout this match.
Yeah.
Um, and his ghouls are looking pretty nice. I'm gonna have to give him that.
Yeah.
They'll be able to, as long as he can keep that tackle mighty blow blitzer in place from hitting his ghouls, he should be pretty okay throughout this match. But it's definitely gonna be a hard one for him. He
Yeah.
will be getting about 110 in inducements,
Right.
so hope that might tip some in his favor. I don't think he'll be. No, he doesn't have enough for a wizard anyways. He'd be 140k. He's 10 short.
Mm.
I don't think he would in the first place.
And Valea might dump. Valea's got a little bit over the 150 cash cap.
Oh, okay.
So that's
So
going to be adding.
so
I
it's
don't know
like
if that
30 less
counts. Yeah. So I
if
think
it's
that
not being counted or not. Okay,
I would
okay.
assume that Rebel's counting that correctly, and so if he
Mm-hmm.
spends down, then it's probably only at 1500.
So okay. So yeah, it's a little less than that. So not too crazy of inducements going into this. Only 80k. Um.
Oh, Major's suggesting they both have the stadium. Oh, I see. Riot and pitch. Oh, they have the
mm,
same stadium enhancement, so
oh, okay.
definitely
So
no
not
riots or
right.
pitch invasions. um,
All
uh,
right. Don't have to worry about that.
yep.
We've probably seen one too many people get burned by that.
Right.
um.
This.
Yeah. This is a. It's really gonna come down to um who manages to remove who from the pitch easier. But honestly, I think Valia has a slight advantage in this matchup just because of the development Valia had in comparison
That's.
to Heldrum.
Yeah. That's where I was leaning too.
hmm it's gonna be a very hard matchup for Heldrum, in my opinion. Just being able to hit anything in the first place is gonna take forever. I'm sure he's wishing he had managed to get the one more SPP. Or sorry, I keep thinking the mummy is the white.
Oh yeah.
Either of the whites had two more SPPs, so they have something like tackle or something.
Yep. Yep.
um, so this is going to be a really hard matchup for him. I'd have to give it to Valia personally, though.
Yep. I'm with you on that. Um,
All right, and that wraps up America's and leads us into the mixed division.
Indeed.
I really like the it's a lot of lizards. I didn't see this one. It's a lot of lizards versus a necromantic magical misery tour.
Misery Tour is back again.
I faced them in a postseason punch up there.
Oh, nice.
hmm I'm the reason one of his wolves are gone.
Oh,
I agility busted it. I was kind of on a rampage that game. I wasn't kidding when I said my mighty blow blitzer started doing a lot of work as soon as I got kicked out of playoff.
mm,
He tore up Lead Pipe's team and then went to punch Magical Miseries tours positionals around. Like I think he strength busted a Flesh Golem which regened, and then I managed to Kaz a wolf once and it regened, and then I Kaz that same wolf in the next drive and managed to agility bust at that time. That was the only injury that stuck throughout that entire match. He had crazy good regen rolls. Anyways, yeah.
yeah. He's had a rough run
Um,
with his wolves. A couple of.
hmm
I remember.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember he lost Doctor Zevon pretty early on in the last season.
hmm
Just can't seem to hold on to the SPP.
Yeah. Let's
So what
see.
has he got? He's got one block wolf, a guard white, guard mighty blow white,
hmm
block fleshy, Not a lot of other development. I guess the ghoul has blodge,
Mm-hmm.
but pretty slim on the development front.
Mm-hmm.
The lizards
Probably owed
are,
to losing those werewolves.
yeah, the
As
lizards
well as a
are.
white. He had a white that was a guard tackle.
Oh yeah, and
Also
that got
lost that one too.
niggled, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Versus the lizard team, who,
They're running way down
um,
on
uh-huh.
skinks, I guess.
Yeah, they're missing. They're gonna get two loner skinks in this matchup, but the skinks he does have a movement up skink, which is really nice, and
Mm-hmm.
a blodge skink, which is a doubles roll for skinks. If you didn't know,
Mm.
um, and he's got 4 out of the 6 Sorai with block, and one of his Sorai is a killer piece already with tackle and mighty blow.
Yeah, tackle's not going to do a whole
Um,
lot on this. In this, not going to do much work in this. Although that if he can
oh
get it on
yeah,
that
yeah.
ghoul, then
Oh yeah, that ghoul is not entirely safe versus him
yeah,
if he gets the attack on him. I will mention if you look at the previous for the lizard team, they've had a pretty rough season as well.
I was looking at that. I was seeing they,
Yeah,
yeah, they,
a dead Crocs, a dead like 2 Sorai dead, one another one armor busted. Like man, that's pretty rough. You expect the skinks, but man, I bet he's cursing his luck when those swords drop.
wait. So they're playing. So they were in upstarts.
Hmm. Where are they?
Yeah, that's what it says. So that,
Oh yeah, he's one of the ones that brought upstarts into
yeah, I don't remember what he was playing
Cool.
last season. Playing in college, but
Yeah, it's Althazar, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, it's Althazar. Yeah, I can't remember what he was playing either. I do remember him being pretty active in the Discord though. I didn't keep up too much with Europe coaches because that
yeah,
is a Europe coach.
yep,
Um, man, this is a team. These are interesting matchups because they're both kind of hurting in terms of development right now.
they are. On the other hand, I feel like I don't. Well, I guess
But I guess in terms of pure development, I think the SPP is a little more spread out on Magical Misery Tour versus the Lizard team because the Lizard team seems to be a lot more focused on the killer piece
yeah,
that has a bunch of it, and he does have uh 4 out of the 4 Sorai, 4 strength, 4 with block, so
yeah.
that'll be really nice in this matchup. Um, mm, I think I'll let you call it.
I was
Hmm.
gonna call it for Althazar. That's
The
my
Lizards.
yeah. I think the lizards are gonna.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've got a slight edge here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
I think they do too. Got a very slight edge in this matchup.
all right. So who do we got next? Another lizard game.
Mm-hmm. The Blizzard Lizards they were in playoffs, weren't they?
Did they make playoffs? I'm not sure.
I can't
Um,
remember. Were they in
they
the
were in
playoffs?
they were in my div. I don't think they made playoffs. I think it was
No, yeah, they don't have any playoff games.
yeah.
I was trying to remember which Lizard team made it to playoff.
Mm,
Because I know one Lizard team made it to playoffs and got knocked out in the first round alongside me.
uh huh. Was that? Yeah, I think that might have been one of the EU guys.
Yeah, it was probably an EU guy.
Um, all right, so undead with a lot of
So,
development across the board. It looks like
mm-hmm,
lizards have a full complement of Blocksaurus, a couple of guard
mm-hmm.
pieces, sidestep Agi skink,
Ooh, we got the Agi up on the skink. That's
yeah,
really nice.
a couple of
And
blodge
2 block
skinks.
skink. Ooh, it's
Yeah,
got
this
some
is a
nice rolls there.
yeah.
Got some nice developed skinks that'll help in this matchup. Cause Major is lacking in tackle.
Mm,
Major re-rolled or he played some this undead team in upstarts and he
right, right.
he brought this in instead of the Dead Dirty Dozen. It looks like Major is lacking in tackle this time, so if he was gonna punch a skink, he's gonna be fishing for the sixes.
Yep.
Especially, well, actually, he could get a two as well on the Agi Up Kink. So, the Agi Up Skink isn't entirely safe in this matchup. Um, he did Major does looks like he has some nice stat ups though. With the agility ghoul and the movement ghoul and the movement mummy is a really cool one.
Oh, yeah, that is
hmm So that's a movement four mummy, which means he can actually get up and blitz a space without taking any GFIs.
right, right.
Um, one two guard to kind of two guard to two guard. Both on pieces that are. Oh no, that's a Saurus
Yeah, the Croxanosaurus versus a Skeletanosaurus,
mummy.
or a skeleton mummy rather.
hmm
I mean, clearly the skeleton's going to go down a little bit easier
Right, the
than the Saurus
Saurus.
will.
It's got
Uh,
two mighty blow whites though. That's a very aggressive a white
mm,
placement.
mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting to see. Four mighty blow on Major's side versus just the one on the crop. So if mighty blow works out for Major, this could go really easily into his favor
Yep.
versus the lizard team.
Yep.
Um but it's going to come down to making sure he can get those POWs in the first place. And having only two guard in this matchup is going to hurt him just a little bit just because of all the just the overwhelming strength advantage um,
Yeah.
the Blizzards have in the one strength five and six strength fours. So he's going to be praying he gets those removals with the mighty blow pieces to try to even out the odds quicker.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
In this matchup, this is gonna be 1450 versus 1430. TV values are about equal, so inducements aren't gonna come into play here.
Yep.
Uh, actually, Major has 20k extra in the bank right now, so that puts him at 1420. Yeah, 1420, or sorry, 1410.
Fourteen
My bad.
ten.
So he could spend a little bit to get some babes, which might help him in the event somebody gets knocked out. Unsure if he'll do that though.
Yeah. I mean, 10K for a babe
Yeah, I would
seems
do it
worth, but
personally, but
um,
um,
I do feel like this one might be
hmm,
the.
this is a hard one. It's a hard one to call just because based on the team's loadouts, but I think I would give this. If I were to pick, I would give it a very slight edge to the Lizards in this one, just because of the strength advantage. Personally,
I
um,
was. That's where I was leaning as well.
all the like we said, all the Sorai have blocks, so they're gonna have a good ability to stand up versus Major, who actually only a thing we didn't mention was the only the whites and the one Blod Sure Hands Ghoul have block as
Mm,
well. Both mummies don't have block going into this, which I'm sure Major's super sad about.
yeah.
Um,
Yep.
I know he's been trying fishing and fishing and fishing for the doubles on a mummy, which I know is it's a pain. So, but I would give this a slight edge to the lizard team. It's really going to come down to where the removals land in this matchup, though,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
how good each team is good at protecting their ball handling piece.
Right.
It's going to be a race to see who can knock around the who can knock out the ball handling pieces.
Uh huh. I mean, that's always the way with lizards. Is
Uh huh.
take the skinks out, and you've got
and they're gonna have a really hard time.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the two Blodge skinks, the one Agi up skink, I feel like the skinks probably have enough survivability that
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be hard for Major to
Right,
really
right.
really end it that way.
And I'm pretty sure he's gonna be really careful with that agi up skink as well. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yep.
I think this will be a really good one to watch though.
Yeah.
To see. Yeah, I would definitely give
Oh.
this one a watch.
Yeah. Okay. No, that doesn't matter. It's just noticing that lizards have a stadium enhancement, but it's the altar, so it doesn't really
Mm.
matter here because of the TV difference is like
Mhm.
doesn't exist.
Yeah, yeah. Alter gives like reduced on star players. Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Exactly.
Okay. Where do you see stadium enhancements?
It's up with the Apo in the like top.
Oh, okay. I
Uh,
wasn't looking too closely. Yeah, I see
yeah.
it now. Oh, it even tells you what it is. Cool. Major said that match is Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Major, I'm not sure how that works with which one is the home team or not. That sounds right. That seems that seems like something
I
they
think
would
it.
what they would do,
Yeah.
but um, yeah, I don't actually know for sure.
Hmm.
So up next we've got Massacre and Slow Rider, whose name I will pronounce correctly for the rest of the season. Uh,
The legendary massacre.
yes, he and I played. He was my final PSPU game, I think, if I'm remembering
Mm.
correctly. Um, and he neither of us died, neither of us got broken, so that was the like uh, we both
just
we both came out happy. um,
just walk away from that one.
yeah, exactly. um, so what's he got?
Oh yeah, I remember Slow Rider. Slow Rider had they went the troll and goblin route really early
Oh,
on.
yeah, 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 he's got a pair of
Uh,
gobos now.
mhm.
um,
So two goblins. It's got two blodge blitzers and one with guard, which is really nice.
yep, yep.
Two guard black orcs as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's some nice development. Guard on the troll.
it's got a
um,
leader accurate thrower and a catch goblin. Ooh, interesting. I'm really curious about that.
yeah, that's there are some interesting avenues towards
Mm-hmm.
shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
200k TV difference between these, owing to
Oh wow,
Massacre
yeah.
having gotten smushed several times. uh,
Yeah. Looking at Massacre's lineup, he's a little less developed than Slow Rider.
well, go look at his
Um,
previous tab. He's got like
yeah,
a
yeah, I saw that. It's like some key pieces are just
yep,
dead.
yep. Um,
Yeah, he does have a strength up blitzer, which I would love to have on my team.
uh huh.
Um, and he's still got a mighty blow blitzer as well. And Agi up lineman is a very interesting pick, and tackle block lineman. Blodge catcher, Blodge movement up thrower. I would also love to have movement up on my thrower. And a stand firm ogre. That's an interesting one. Um, man, honestly, in this matchup, I'm gonna. I personally would give it to Slow Rider. There's just
Yeah,
in terms of development, Slow Rider is just that much more ahead.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
I feel like Slow Rider has. I mean, looking at the team, Slow Rider really has a couple of different like pretty solid win conditions, right? Like he can either
mhm,
just sort of take his guard and march up the field, um,
mhm,
with, I mean, just like probably with a pretty good amount of impunity, right? Like the two guard blorks, like you stick them on the corners of the cage, and nothing's really getting into that. Um,
mhm.
absent some real shenanigans.
Right.
And then if things go wrong, he's got the like either the thrower to the goblin or the thrower. the troll throwing the goblin, or like he's got a bunch of sort of Hail Mary-ish stuff that he can fall back on.
Right.
Um, yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it going Masker's way
Right.
in this one.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see though. Legendary Massacre. We will see.
Indeed.
And that brings us to our next one. House of Windsor versus the Wild Skullbashes. It's a Dark Elf versus Orc matchup.
Hmm.
Cobbs versus Toralar. The Dark Elf sitting at 1520 TV
Yep.
versus Toralar 1390 going into this match because they have uh, Mighty Blow piling on Blitzer that's going to be missing this match.
Oh, yep.
But he has two of them, so.
Right. Still got a killer. Um, again, kind of lacking in tackle. It looks like so.
Mhm.
The the Dark Elf Blitzers will be pretty safe. The elves also have a Blodge Witch Elf and a Tackle Witch Elf. So the Witch Elves have stuff to cover both
Restful.
downs. Wrestle, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
The strength up tackle Blitzer is really nice.
yep.
Ooh,
Um,
and a strip ball piece. That's interesting. A strip
mm,
ball piece versus a team with no sure hand.
oh yeah,
This orc team didn't take a thrower or that thrower's dead. Nope. Doesn't look like they ever took a
no
thrower.
thrower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did lose a black orc though. Um that's really interesting. So that strip ball piece might come into play here.
Yeah. Yep.
Block lineman, kick lineman, wrestle guard lineman is really interesting to see as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those if
Um,
you knew guard was coming, you probably would have taken block. But
oh,
given the opportunity to pick the guard afterwards, you take it.
of course. Because those only come on doubles for Dark
Yeah.
Elves.
Exactly.
Versus Toralar, who's got three Black Orcs with block and one of them with guard as well. It's got the Mighty Blow piling on Blitzer and the Movement Up Blitzer, which is probably the piece he carries the ball on, and then another guard Blitzer.
Yeah.
He's got the Dirty Player. He's got the Troll with guard. He's got two Dirty Players. Looks like Toralar is a very aggressive player with these skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Definitely going after the removal game a lot.
mhm. So if who's this again? Cobbs isn't careful, he might get punched a ton
Uh huh.
if he's unlucky with the dodges and such. Um, but as you pointed out, the positional pieces, all except one of them have dodge, so that's probably going to work against Toralar here,
Yep.
um, since they all have block and dodge. So we'll have to see how that plays out for him. The highly aggressive play, I respect it, but I think it's going to bite him in this case if he doesn't, since he didn't manage to pick up tackle by now.
Right. I think the elves can sort of uh, can can probably play a pretty standard like screen and disengage uh, type
Mm-hmm.
play.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I'm gonna have to give this one in favor of the Dark Elves personally.
Yep, that seems reasonable to me.
Hmm. I will mention the inducements are going in favor of Toralar. He's getting, what is that, 130k in inducements.
Yep,
So that might help him. You might see he's probably going to take a bribe. I would not be surprised if he takes a
the
bribe.
dirty player. Yeah, with those dirty players, yeah, that seems pretty reasonable.
Hmm. So we're probably going to see a bribe on him going into this match. So yeah, if he manages to get the knockdown, that player is probably getting removed through a foul.
Uh-huh.
But the problem is, of course, going to be getting them on the floor in the first place.
Right.
So
Yeah, that sounds right. Does that, and we're at our last
into the
one?
last one.
Manhack and the Midnight Special.
Ooh, Manhack.
Ooh,
I think
wow.
he's the second highest in TV at 1560.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't think anybody's higher than him. Or sorry, higher than that versus Big A's 1610, I believe. At least in America's mix.
Right. So that's a lot of inducements going the Amazon's direction.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's like what 340K inducement money
Yep.
going into this. That
Um,
is massive.
Zons don't have a dirty player, so probably more
Probably
likely
gonna
to see like a
be
wizard and
possibly a wizard.
how many?
Um, Possibly a wizard. Maybe some pieces to like how many players do
They
they
only
have?
have
I hate it
11.
when people split up
I
like
know
this.
it's makes it impossible to tell. They both did it. Um,
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Might induce some mercenaries
yeah.
for the Amazons to
Yep.
potentially wait out because Manhack is one thing I noticed about Manhack's plays. He's very aggressive with that mighty blow piling on blitzer.
Mm.
Um,
It's got tackle now
oh,
too, so
mm-hmm,
that's gonna
mm-hmm.
be
So he's definitely going to be a key piece in
yeah.
removing on the Amazon team.
Yep.
Um, he's got three guard. Is that versus the Amazon's one guard in this case?
Yeah. That's
Um,
the Zons
Very good passing thrower.
don't have Zons are pretty limited in their block selection.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like they've got block on their blitzers and one lino.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Which is also an agility upline woman,
yeah, yeah.
which is really nice. The sure hands thrower and a blodge sidestep catcher
Oh yeah,
and a
that's right.
wrestle.
Does have
Mm-hmm.
the catcher has
So in
block
terms
too.
of development, yeah, they don't have anything too massive on the Amazon team. They do have a nice killer too as well.
Yep. Yep.
So that might help in some removals too if Manhack's not careful. Especially with tackle, it's going to be able to target any piece that comes into range. Um, I will mention Manhack is pretty good with one-turn touchdowns.
Mm.
Stealing away games with them. In fact,
Didn't he score like 5 points in a match recently?
it was a postseason punch-up versus I think it was Casper.
Uh huh.
He managed
Oh
to
yeah,
score
5-1.
5 points. Mhm. But I know in the college games, the playoffs, like pretty sure he had like probably in both of the matches he played, because I think he was
Mm-hmm.
knocked out in the second round.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
he
it looks like.
managed to score a one turn on both of those.
Oh wow.
Um, and in fact, like one thing Rico did in his match versus Manhack was, even though he only had like three players left on the pitch, um, he uh, he said he mentioned after the match, because we were all in the watch session watching it, and we were like, he has to score now. There's no way he can keep this ball safe anymore. Um, with literally only like three players on the field versus Manhack's, like I think he still had like most of his team.
Uh huh.
Um, and after the match, Rico said, "Yeah, I didn't score because I can't give him time to one turn, because
Oh.
he will one turn."
Yep. Yep.
Like, and Rico wouldn't have been able to stop the one turn because all
Right.
of his pieces are, gone.
Right. Right.
Yeah. None of those casualties stuck on Rico, I don't believe. But yeah, that was a very, very interesting match. But yeah, Manhack's really good with the so I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled him out here as usual.
Yep. Yep.
That's always kind of in his pocket if you're not
Right.
careful.
If you've got that play, then you I mean, got the
Been
play and you've got the players to support it. He's got the movement 9 catcher that
mm,
doesn't need to get too much down the field to
nope, that's
put it
a
all
pretty
away.
safe. That's like one GFI less you have to take in one turn.
Yep.
Because normally with movement 8, you have to get all your pushes correct, and then you get 2 GFIs into the end zone.
Right.
But with movement 9, it's just one instead.
Well, or one fewer push. Um,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
one
actually
fewer push as well. Yeah,
the push is the less likely thing.
right, right.
Um, but
Let's see. In terms of development, it's definitely within Manhack's favor,
yeah.
but if Manhack should definitely be careful because he does only have one tackle piece in this matchup, and if that tackle piece is also his killer piece, and if that
Right.
piece gets removed, he's going to be at a severe disadvantage in this matchup because
Yeah. The Zons are
Amazon, uh,
gonna punch
they are,
like the
they're going
Dickens.
to punch, and they're pretty decent at punching, so
Yep.
he definitely has to make sure he doesn't underestimate his opponent. But in my opinion, I personally have to give it to Manhack. He's a very solid coach,
Mm-hmm.
and just able to pull scores like that out of his pocket at a moment's notice. I can't see, as long as he's safe and not too cocky, I can't see him losing in this matchup.
Yeah. I think that's right.
A lot of cool games. I'm pretty excited to watch a lot of these. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this should be a pretty fun a fun season.
Hmm. And since there's a lot less going into this, a lot less people in general, it feels a lot more manageable to be able to watch a majority of the games.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm definitely looking forward to it all.
I'm hoping folks stream sufficiently. I'm usually not able to watch games live, but
Hmm.
I'll pick up. Uh, I'll try and watch through uh, people's
Some of the
streams.
streams and
Yeah.
stuff. Right, right. Sometimes if it's a super interesting game, I do go into the actual client and watch too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the season. It's going to be a great season. It felt like a lot of energy from a lot of the coaches and minors going into this, so I'm pretty hopeful for it all.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's going to be
Absolutely.
really fun, and I'm pumped to be here.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm going to be picking up streaming again. It
Nice.
fell off after playoffs because I just lost a lot of my Steam
Right.
after
Right.
I lost. But going into this, I'm pretty excited. I'm pumped. I'm pumped.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm hoping to stream my stuff as well. It's mostly a scheduling thing for me. If they're late enough in the evening, then I can do that, which I was able to swing mostly in college. But then in the
Hmm.
postseason, anytime I was playing one of the Europe guys, it was like,
Like, yeah, you
okay,
don't really
some
have a
ridiculous
choice.
hour of the morning, or have
Mm.
play it like try and play it a little bit earlier in my evening so they're not up at 2 a.m. or
Right, right.
Uh, but yeah,
Yeah, I
hopefully.
got pretty lucky with my scheduling with the European guys.
I have to commend them all for being very flexible.
Oh,
I was
for sure.
shocked at their willingness to be like, oh yeah, I'll just stay up till absurd hours in the morning. Okay, it's great for me. I'm not sure how you manage it, but yeah, it was good. I was a little worried that scheduling in the postseason was going to be
Oh,
a
yeah,
struggle, but
yeah.
it worked out okay.
Hmm. All right, that wraps up the precap then.
Indeed. we will see you guys next week. I think probably doing it Wednesdays makes sense. That gives
Mm-hmm.
hopefully the
Everybody
everything
the
everyone's
maximum amount
finished
of
and
time.
yeah, exactly. It gives the things time to roll over. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so hopefully, I would say plan on that, viewers, and hopefully we can stick to it more or less.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Sweet. Thanks for
I
tuning in, fellas.
yeah yeah got a good chunk of people here, so we will see you all in the Discord and hopefully next week.